All right. Well, hello, my name is Andrea Quesada, and today I'm going to talk about an important key quality on writing, which is organization. So organization is crucial because, as I said in my last video, with organization, ideas are impossible to follow. And one of the main purposes of having an organized text in an organization writing is to make clear the ideas and insights and the thoughts of the writer that the writer wants to say and express in the text. So one of the quotes from Ruth Colham in her book Traits of Writing, it says, teach your students how to organize their work without putting them in a straitjacket. In other words, formula doesn't really work sometimes. And we shouldn't teach our students a really strict structure of organization. And she also mentions later on that there are countless ways to organize a piece of writing, but the important matter here is to be sure we have an organized text so that the reader can follow the ideas more easily. So a fundamental part of organization are the key qualities, which is introduction, transitions in the body, the structure of the body, and the resolution or conclusion. So in the introduction, in other words, for introduction is a strong lead. And this part should work like a fishing fly, gently hovering over the surface of the idea until the reader spots and bites. So it's kind of the hook of the entire text, what captures the attention of the reader. Then we have the transitions in the body that should be smooth and smooth paced, meaning it doesn't rush too much or it doesn't go too slow in some parts. And it has to be a logical turns of phrase to get the reader from one point to the next point. Then we have the structure that should be noticeable for each type of text. And finally, we have the resolution or a thoughtful ending when the reader catch and release. And the writer ties up loose ends and answer important questions while leaving the reader with a thing or two to ponder on. So the main point, another way that you can see organization is to have our text unfold in a logical way. So the example, if we're taking this into a classroom manner, I thought about a lot of ideas what we can do, but I feel like, and Ruth Colham mentions that a lot in the chapter 5, that models and examples, well-written examples of organization are fundamental for writers to identify good organization and to finally apply that into their own work. So we can invite our students to write their own step-by-step kind of paper, but I think a fundamental part will also have them to read different well-written types of text and identify the organization, the structure, the hook of it, the smooth transitions, the conclusions. Even if they're not amazing, they should be able to identify and try to even change it. You can have activities where they can find the lead and then trying to make it better. An important part of this activity that I wrote in my applying lesson was to make sure they identified textually the evidence in the text. So the text number 1, we will go through it as a whole class, and it's from actually the chapter 5 of Ruth Colham's book. This is Missing China Banana. So I will go through it with the students, and at the end we will go and mark some places, and I would like them to write notes on the side. Why is it a good hook? What is not? What is this a good transition? What is not? Did it capture my attention? Did it not? And the same I will have them do in pairs or in groups of 3 of the second text called the life cycle. You can pause it and you can read it. Let me myself from here. And it's a really easy text to understand, and I really like some parts of this in organization wise more than others. So an important part of organization is to make sure our students and the writer knows the type of text that they're going to write or that they're reading and the audience. I think that's really, really important. And with well-written text, that will help the students develop awareness of the pacing, introduction, conclusion, and then ultimately give them the chance to apply that awareness to their own work, as I said before. Lastly, a quote from Ruth Calhoun says, when they think deeply about what they're writing and for whom they're writing, they reach their potential as writers who can use organization to make clear what they want to say. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, that's one of the main goals of organization. And finally, I want to remember you all that it takes a lot of practice, good models, and patience. And we as future teachers, need to remember that always and let the students know that this is not easy and it takes time, but it's not impossible, and we are here to help them.